There's so much that you've done that has helped me inform me on things that I didn't even think myself. And so this has been like, I mean, it really is a playbook. Everybody should have this.
I would love to introduce Sue Hitzmann.
Oh. Hi, guys. Hi, Dr. Maggie.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. I have to say, like, there's so much great information in this book. And actually, as you've been talking, I've been going back through and like looking all of my very many pages of highlights and things, and I mean, it's been really just such a blessing to meet you and listening to somebody who really gets it, that there's so much more than unfortunately, what our medical industry is dishing out to us, which is half of the time a bunch of crap. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean, but
she's a fan of cursey words too, just so you guys know, and that's why we're friends.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of crap, but the good news is that there are people like Dr. Maggie who are steering you in the right direction, explaining how, one of these like missing pieces, like the blood sugar point with pain. Nobody talks about that, right? And even for me, I'm now in my 50s, and so I'm in menopause, and the doctors are like, you're just in menopause, like deal with it, and it really is. So, some of your great products, like the Golden Balance and everything, has been really critical for me. So thank you for all the great stuff you're doing and for having me today.
Just bringing it all back full circle, though, again, much like Dr. Basinger, it is so nice to have Sue here because she's an inspiration in this book. And that's what we're talking about here today, really, is the playbook for total wellness.
She helped me help myself physically. So this is why she's in the book. So I want to thank you.
Thank you for making the book, because there's so much that you've done that has helped me inform me on things that I didn't even think myself. And so this has been like, I mean, it really is a playbook. Everybody should have this and tell all of your friends about this and buy this book. It's amazing. There's chock full of great advice and simple things to do.
If you haven't picked it up yet.
Thank you, Sue. One of the lessons Dr. Basinger has taught me is, and I've said, is that the order really matters. And he is the practitioner that I would say, besides me, that has shown me that the most. Because literally it's been a world tour around my body to figure out the right way to get rid of 26 areas of pain down to like 3.
A handful.
Yeah. Right?
Just a handful now.
Exactly.
But there was an order to it, and he saw the order, and I had to trust.
You have to think about the person's function, not just pain and not just what's on that chart, but does the whole circus make sense? And that's what I think in your book that is great. Is it's you didn't ask me what I love about your book, but this is what I love about your book is that when I read through there, I'm going, you're asking questions that a psychoanalyst would ask.
You should ask questions.
You should ask, but the other part too is you give space to give the answers. And I know that when you work with people, you also give space for them to be heard.
Yeah,
that's different. You can have I wonder if I did that, but they don't ask, they don't test, they don't look, and then they don't get the results that you're going to get.
Gosh. This must be a kind of a very special moment for you, Dr. Maggie, because this is somebody that inspired you, who is now saying you also have inspired him, and how it's been impactful reading your book as well, and that he really appreciates this. So I just feel special sitting between the two of you at this moment, because I'm so curious. The way that you approach this is different. It is out of the box. It is in line with the way that you approach things differently.
When I started reading the book, like many books, you kind of want to get excited, and page 85 comes up, and scleroderma. And I started reading, and I'm like, oh shit. I have a patient that I'm treating with scleroderma. Fortunately,
I think, great.
Yes.
Right. No, I say oh shit too, but it's funny. Some people say oh shit, and I'm like, no, great, right?
It's a good, because she's already lost her fingertips to the condition. She has good medical care, which is completely appropriate, but she has calcifications that show up that will break through. And we found a way to kind of ultrasound those and work through some of that tissue to get better range of motion.
Wow.
And, but the whole time, I haven't worked on her stomach.
By reading this, it was a good reminder.
Oh, I'll see her next week. That's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to, not apologize, but like,
Right. We
by
have
the
a
way,
focus
we'll
that we need
we'll
to-
get to these other bumps and, the things. But yeah, we got to work with the gut because in a person with scleroderma, you can talk to them mentally and make them feel as good as possible psychologically. But if you're going to do something physical with your hands, is go to their gut. Yeah.
And literally manually work on their gut.
Yeah.
And that's
Just
what digestion is too. I'm working on the gut with people's digestion internally. You literally manually work on people's gut, and that's what people need.
Yeah. So anyway, that spark, I'm just like, yay. Okay. It was already worth it before page 85, but that was my.
Thank you for inspiring the woman who inspires so many of us, and then how special to hear that she also inspires you in return.
Thank you.
So great to have you, Mike. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I have to know, how is it that you and Dr. Maggie know each other?
I was just thinking about that as I was watching the video. I was thinking about it beforehand. Dr. Maggie and I were in a group together, and I think it might have been the first time we were in an environment. And I was probably sharing stuff, and she was in the room and she shared what she did. And somehow we ended up standing along this window. I think it was in California. And I went up to her and we were talking. I'm naturally always just vomiting information on people. And she turned around and said, hey, how can I help you? And I'm going to try not to get emotional now over it, but I started to get tears in my eyes. And I said, could you help my wife? She's the most important thing in the world to me. We've been together since we're 15, me and my beautiful wife, Jennifer. And I was like, can you help her? She's dealing with thyroid issues. And she said, we will do it. I'm going to help her out. And it started a catalyst for my wife's health to change. And, I had tears in my eyes in front of a room full of people. And, you could be, I built and sold 2 high 8-figure companies the last 5 years. And there's one thing that that money is just doesn't mean anything when it comes to somebody you love so much is sick. And so everybody that is listening to this, I'm a raving fan on so many levels. Dr. Maggie's my resource when things are going south about health, and along with my incredible son and my daughter and my wife. So it's an honor for me to be here.
I love it. And your wife is in the chat. I saw she just put a bunch of hearts in the chat, sending love right back your way.
Mike, there's so many ways with which you have inspired me in many areas of my life. But one of the things is I don't think I even told you, so I'm telling you now live on the air, is that you are the inspiration behind the chapter Mindset to Mind Growth. And one of his statements is, the body always follows the mind. So people are always working on their body, but they're not working on their mind first, but the mind is the leader, right? So every aspect of our program, every mindset lesson in there is this concept of, we got to grow our mind because your body's going to follow the mind. And if you don't work on your mind, your body isn't going to follow, right?
When I heard everybody all around, decades of life telling me it's about mindset. And if you think about it, if you poured concrete in your mind, it's set, it wouldn't grow no more. It'd be stuck. And that's where I learned that people want mind growth. I mean, that's why people are coming to you, because if they have a mindset, they're already thinking, well, maybe this will fix it. And a lot of people have heard, Maggie, this phrase like success leaves clues. And I've been saying this for a year, and yeah, maybe that's true. But like, does anybody with their health have time to play Dora the Explorer? Like, do you have time to go look around to find clues to fix your health? No, go to someone who has a blueprint and has the plan. Like, why should you go sniffing for clues if you have a plan? And I'm a big, I'm a big believer in, time is valuable, solve it quick, get really, really smart people to tell you how they solved other people's problems, and don't play voodoo with your health. And I always like to say it's life, business, and wealth by design. Whatever you're not doing by design is by default. And default is normally slow and painful.
He said, have a plan. Kind of sounds like find somebody with a playbook. Do you know anybody with a playbook?
Exactly. Right. Dr. Maggie, what a lot of people that are listening here, first off, get the book, because I was sitting in the behind here listening, and I'm like, oh my goodness, she's given a lot of massive value away for like pennies. And when you look at it, like people would pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just for what she put in the book here. So take advantage of that. I think it's how fast do you want to improve your life, and how long do you want your life to go? So all of you have a chance right now to really enhance your life for longevity. So you don't have to have inflammation and pain and suffering and fatigue and lack of energy. And I love what Dr. Maggie does. Like if you're out of balance in your hormones and you have inflammation and fatigue and all these things that she's an expert on, you know, if you have that, that's going to affect the mind there. And then you're not going to make the decisions you need. You're not going to move as quick as you need. You're going to miss lots of opportunities. And her whole book is laid out as it's a blueprint. Do this, think like this, and you're going to start to get this. I'm one of those people that did everything wrong. I promise you. I'm the one that used to go at GNC. That's what it was back then. Now I'd go in Whole Foods. My wife watched me plenty of times down the aisle, go to this person that doesn't know much of anything and say, what should I be taking? They're like, and you leave $800 worth of vitamin B's and C's and D's. And then one day you get in somebody like Dr. Maggie's role, and she's like, hey, you got to like check your blood and check your gut. You check your gut. You're like, everything that the Whole Foods little girl was giving me was like killing me, not healing me. And if I took that money, instead of spending it there and put it into the really finding out the core, you'll heal faster and you'll save money along the way.
It makes total sense.
I know.
Dr. Maggie, thank you for what you do. This is from my heart to everybody, so you could hear this. She's impacted my life. She's a gift in my world and my family's world. And I'm honored that you're on this movement because you are changing lives. Thank you for having me. Everybody, grab the book, Change Your Life. Thank you, Dr. Maggie. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, and thank you for watching this video. If you're interested in actively looking for a solution to your problem and you'd like to work with us, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and click the link in the description to book a chat with our team. I and my team look forward to talking to you to learn more about you to see if we are indeed a good fit to work together. Thank you.